Hi, I'm Jerry Myron. I'm the on-demand trainer here at SureSeal, and today's topic is going to be the plumbing mechanical products. That makes up our SureSeal, our waterless inline trap seal, the glue-on nozzle, clean check, the extendable backwater valve, and the family of golden tools, GoldenGrip. So let's get started with SureSeal. We're going to do a product overview, applications, how to target customers or who to target, the key competitors, what makes SureSeal better than the competitive products, and objections you can expect to hear and how to overcome those. So let's get started with the trap seal. Sewer smell. That's a horrible thing, especially when you're talking about small commercial offices that they have a trap that is drying out. So that's what SureSeal addresses. It's a horrible thing. So let's talk about the role of a P-trap. Floor drains connect to the traps in the drainage system. And the water at the bottom of the trap is what's going to keep the unwanted sewer gases outside the system, outside the air. The North American standard requires a 1.5 to 4 inch water depth in the P-traps. Here we can see a picture of why the smells happen even when you do have a P-trap in your drain is a failed trap primer or no trap primer, or the fact that it's just drying out. And so many times when you hear that the janitors or some of the tenants are having to take a bucket of water every once in a while and pour water down that drain, it's because they're filling up that trap. So now let's talk about the types of seals. To prevent the escape of sewer gases through the floor drain traps, protection must be provided to protect the seal. First type is a water-supplied trap. Uses potable water to fill the trap primer. As you can see in the picture, it's getting the fresh water out of the cold water supply. There's an awful lot involved here. You can see the mechanics of the device itself as well as the water lines you're having to connect to. So this method of priming traps uses potable water supply, intermittent discharge to the trap in response to the flow or the pressure changes in the supply line. The second type of trap primer is a drainage supply. To reduce the water waste, a drainage supply trap was developed. It maintains its water seal using the water from either the fixed drain line, flushometer, valve tailpiece, or an electronic timing device, electronic primer device. It's a waterless floor trap seal protection device. It can be installed in existing floor drains without any changes to the plumbing system, without having to connect to the tailpiece or a supply line. A lot less that can go wrong with this kind of device compared to the previous two types. But the barrier type floor drain trap seal protection, it has to conform to the ASSE 1072. Must pass the test for amount of flow you can expect, trap seal interference, dirt and debris, grease, and must have a physical membrane. Here we have the ASSE 1072. It's the performance requirements for a barrier type floor drain trap seal. It states this barrier method does not automatically and periodically provide water to replenish a trap seal, like the first two types you saw. It must provide a barrier on the inlet side of the trap, one that minimizes evaporation. So I kind of put in bold and underlined the two most important things about this, about the ASSE 1072. One, it keeps the trap seal from evaporating, and while it also allows the water to drain appropriately. Now let's talk about the SureSeal design. In the event of an airlock situation, an airlock, here we have a SureSeal. An airlock is where you can see that this opens this way. An airlock situation is one that there's pressure pushing against this, preventing, no matter what kind of water you're putting down here, that's going to prevent this from opening up. So we have a patented relief valve built into this portion here. You can see it on your screen there. It allows the valve to flutter slightly, allowing the flapper to open as necessary. So it eliminates the airlock situation. Another important element in the SureSeal design is a patented memory hinge. That allows for a complete seal every time. The body is a high density polyethylene housing. The diaphragm is a heavy duty silicone. The gasket is just a rubber gasket. That is what allows it to come back each and every time. The SureSeal lineup come in sizes of 2-inch, 3-inch, 3.5, and 4-inch diameter. The features of the SureSeal: it saves time and money, installation time and money. It saves water versus the traditional trap primers. It stops the sewer gases, odors, bug infestation from coming up. It is a press fit that fits all 2, 3-inch, 3.5, and 4-inch drain sizes. So existing drain lines, it pressure fits inside there with this rubber surrounding the SureSeal. The flapper opens with less than 4 ounces of water. There's no restriction of the water flow going through the drain. The patented pressure relief valve to prevent the airlock, as well as a patented memory flapper that guarantees a complete seal every time. And of course, it's also ASSE 1072 tested and approved. This product has a 10-year warranty. These are some of the plumbing codes that identify a barrier trap seal device. 2 things. 1, it keeps the odors from entering the premises. And 2, it allows the water back into the system. However much water that drain is designed for, again, 2, 3-inch, 3.5-inch, or 4-inch drain. That is how much can go through the SureSeal. We have a PHCC, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association. And of course, you can see the ICC ES listed 1070, the IPC, the IAPMO listed C 4165, and we'll talk about that. And then, of course, the UPC pending approval for the 2015 code cycle. Here's the SureSeal plumbing codes distinction that we need to make. The UPC label identifies that the product complies with the Uniform Plumbing Code, in addition to the standard. The CIAPMO triangle logo identifies that SureSeal meets the standard, but it does not meet the requirements of the UPC code. And that means the UPC code states installation instructions shall not imply that it be used in place of a trap primer. And that is exactly what our product does. It does replace the trap primer. So it meets the standard. But as far as the UPC requiring that we shall not imply that fact that it replaces a trap primer, we will always promote that fact. So we do have an exception with the IAPMO with a C over it, triangle. Here we show the SureSeal target customers, the opportunities. Plumbing contractors, whether it's new construction, repair, replacement, the plumbing wholesalers, facility maintenance. Again, you hear oftentimes, if you talk to the maintenance people, about, do you pour a bucket down during any of your floor drains to eliminate the smell? And when they do, there's the need for the SureSeal. Multifamily construction contractors, commercial builders, restaurant supply. Now let's look at the key competitors. We have Green Drain, MyFab, MyGuard, IPS, Green Drain, and essentially those first 3 are identical. No difference between those 2. the J.R. Smith Stink Stopper, ProSet Trap Guard. That is one that it requires silicone to install it. It is also one of the, along with SureSeal, ProSet Trap Guard was the first two waterless trap seals for many years. However, some sporting venues were having issues when they used the ProSet Trap Primer because the peanut shells were getting caught down in there, and you can see the little hook at the bottom of the ProSet Trap Primer that when there's water to flow, that little flap is supposed to open up. If a peanut gets caught in there, it's going to prevent that memory, that rubber memory, from closing again, preventing the odors from coming back up. So there's some issues with that. And then the last competitor that we really see a lot is the Sioux Chief Trap Shield. Now the SureSeal differentiators. Let's summarize. It's a simple press fit design. No silicone compared to one of our other waterless trap competitors. It saves time and money. It's a patented relief valve. It's a patented memory flapper that allows a complete seal each and every time. It saves water and eliminates the need for a trap primer. It fits both cast iron and plastic drains. It's got a very strong name brand recognition because it was one of the first two of its type, and it does have a 10-year warranty. Objections that you can expect to hear: pricing issues. Well, now with the help of our price adjustment request system, it's very easy for those sales people representing RectorSeal to adjust to competitive pricing if need be. So you can get a very quick response to special pricing if necessary. But again, we need to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. The lack of a complete floor drain product line from RectorSeal, that's true. What we offer is the uniqueness of SureSeal for that one product, for that one portion of the industry. That's correct. If we had a complete floor drain product line, then we would be in the commodity business. Okay, the next plumbing mechanical product we're going to discuss is the glue-on nozzle, what we call GONE. We're going to do a product overview, its applications, customers to target, the key competitors, what makes the glue-on nozzle different or better, the advantages that it has, and some objections to overcome. Here we have the typical drain types on commercial buildings. On the left, you can see a drain that's built into the building. There is no cow's tongue, is actually the generic term used for glue-on nozzle and other type devices. It's allowing the drain away from the building, and then you have a downspout. You can see on the right side of the screen, just using large PVC. It's not very attractive, but on the left, you can see mold growing on that structure because it doesn't have a downspout pulling the water drainage away from the building. The glue-on nozzle is a decorative cast nickel brass construction downspout. It has an escutcheon plate and it has an integral PVC insert that makes this product, provides the anti-theft that we like about the product. Here are the features. It is a solid cast nickel brass two-piece construction. It has a very nice looking appearance to it. It has solvent welds that welds directly to the drain coming out of the building. It has a very professional on-site finish. It's a three-step process that eliminates the need for additional site work, working with a masonry or stucco crew. You have sizes 2-inch through 12-inch. There's also, as an accessory, a bird screen, and it comes with this anti-theft discussion. So let's talk about how this works together and what makes it anti-theft. Here are the tools that you need. You have the GONE device, you have a PVC cement primer, you have a saw, and you have silicone to provide a nice seal around the building and the device itself. Step 1, seal around the drain pipe with silicone caulk. Anchor the anti-theft discussion plate to the building. Secure with the appropriate wall anchor. You can see the PVC that's coming out of the building. You measure the hub depth of the gone device and you cut to the proper length. Step 3, using a RectorSeal solvent cement, you're going to place the nozzle over the PVC that's coming out of the building into the escutcheon. You have a nice tight fit here. When it's cemented, you turn it until it starts to cure in place, with this being level, nice and straight. It's that PVC that's coming out of the building, and anyone who wants to steal these devices are going to have a very difficult time separating the PVC that's inside, that's built into our gone device, with the building. Very unique. Here's an accessory for the gone, the glue-on nozzle, is a bird screen. It's available for all the sizes, 2-inch through 12-inch. The glue-on nozzle key competitors. You have J.R. Smith Manufacturing, Zurn, and MyFab. You can see in that top image that there are threads on the J.R. Smith. That can be easily unscrewed. The common objections with the glue-on nozzle: it's not listed in the specifications. RectorSeal does not have a complete drain line. Again, if we did, we'd be talking about a commodity business. What about RectorSeal not in all the buying groups? There's very few buying groups for us left to be in, but we're working on that. And then the pricing is high. If the pricing is high, again, we have a lot of RectorSeal people in the field, and they can submit a price adjustment request form if need be. And then the glue-on nozzle is subject to tariffs. That's true. It is built in our overseas factories, and it is a possible subject to tariffs. Now, the glue-on nozzle target customers, the commercial plumbing contractors and the wholesalers selling to them. You have the PVF wholesalers and their customers. And then you have the specifying engineers and architects. To get over the fact that the product's not in the specifications, well, it is a slow process, but it is up to the people in our field representing RectorSeal to work on that. Know the engineers and get the product in the specifications, and work with the distributors to get those very active engineers who specify certain products. So we need to get into their specifications. In addition to the glue-on nozzle, we have the DuraGone features, a high-impact polymer product replicating the glue-on nozzle that's in the nickel brass. It's 10 times the weather resistance of ABS. It has a timeless style and look of an oil bronzed product. And it has the solvent welds directly to the drain line, which makes it difficult to steal. But we had to be competitive in response to some of the customers saying it's just too expensive. Well, we have the DuraGone available in the 3-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch sizes. It's the same 3-step process as it is with our glue-on nozzle. It also has a bird screen accessory available for it as well, and it does come with the anti-theft discussion that the gone device is known for. So now we have the DuraGone and gone. Why would we choose one versus the other? The DuraGone would be used more on a low profile buildings, projects with lower budgets, smaller commercial buildings. The gone would be used on a more higher profile buildings, banks, government buildings, multi-story. But sometimes you can have those buildings, the visible front and perhaps even the side, but in the back, perhaps the public doesn't see behind that building. That's where you would perhaps use a DuraGone. Save the engineer, the architect, the building owner some money in that respect. And then also there are projects where the nozzles would be installed 20 feet off the ground, and the gun itself, especially if we're talking much bigger, 6-inch and larger, those are very heavy, and the Duragon would make the job much easier when you're installing these higher up off the floor. And then the third mechanical product is going to be our CleanCheck extendable backwater valve. I'm going to do a product overview, applications, who to target for the product, key competitors, what makes CleanCheck better than the competition, and objections you can expect to hear and how to overcome those. What is the CleanCheck extendable backwater valve? It prevents the sewage backup into the residence or the building as a result of a plugged sewer system, flooding, excess water in the system, groundwater flooding. Here we can see results of not having a backwater valve. And the water coming from the sewage, you can understand how horrible that would be coming into our premises. Here we'll talk about the backwater valve application. You can see where it's required. On the left, you'll see the upstream manhole, and then a red line going across horizontally. In the first home, you can see that all the fixtures are above the upstream manhole. So a backwater valve is not necessary. In the second and third, but in that second image, you can see that any fixtures that are below that imaginary line, that's below the upstream manhole cover, if it's below, it needs to have a backwater valve. And then of course you can see in that third image that the entire house is below that upstream manhole cover. Let's talk about the features of the CleanCheck. It prevents the reverse flow of backwater. We have an arrow on here showing that this is the direction in which the waste is going to flow out of the building. It installs discreetly outside as much as 12 feet below the grade level. It eliminates the need for a costly manhole. We'll talk about that. It's readily accessible for a grade level for easy maintenance, to be able to pull up and inspect your device. As deep as 12 feet. It meets the UPC, IAPMO, the IPC, ICC, IRC, and the CSA plumbing codes. It's available in PVC or ABS, in 3-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch for PVC only. I talk about the CleanCheck parts. You can see the lower collar that has built into it 75 PSI flapper. Here we have the CleanCheck parts. Let's break them down. The first is the lower collar. Let's talk about the CleanCheck parts. You have at the very bottom, this portion is the lower collar that has a flapper that is tested to 75 PSI pressure. Then you have the clean out adapter and plug, which is optional. Then you have the valve body. On the bottom here. And then you have the upper collar, either 2-inch or 4-inch, 2-inch or 4-inch on the lower collar. And then the length of PVC is, you can go as long as or as deep as 12 feet. So the PVC is going to be supplied by the contractor. Now there are two types of extendable backwater valves that SureSeal makes. We have the normally closed clean check device. As you can see in the image here, flow goes this way with the waste, and it's normally closed. The hinge is on top. That's for the United States market. In the Canadian market, what they approve is a normally open device. Here we can see it's normally open, and we have a flapper here that waste is going this way. When there is waste, if there's flooding and waste is coming back into the structure, this normally open device will close. That is for the Canadian market. That is what's approved there. We have rebuild kits, as you can see, in PVC as well as ABS. We redesigned these to allow it to adapt to both 2-inch as well as 4-inch PVC. On this screen, you can see the clean check that was redesigned. It was redesigned so the collar for the upper and the lower can adapt to 2-inch or 4-inch PVC. Initially, it was only 2 inches, so providing them 4 inches as well, that's given them some flexibility. Here's our flapper that is tested to 75 psi. No one comes close to that. And on this screen, I went ahead and copied and pasted a replacement instructions. This is just an example of what's available when you go to resources on our website. Very instructional, very detailed. It's just an example of what we have to offer you. Some common questions in regards to the clean check. When is a backwater valve required? Well, according to the IPC and UPC, as well as local plumbing codes, when that upstream manhole cover is above the flood rim of the lowest fixture in a building. When is a manhole required to use with a backwater valve? According to the IPC and UPC, a concrete manhole is needed when that backwater valve is buried deeper than 2 feet. With CleanCheck, however, its unique design, you don't have to have an expensive manhole cover. That expensive manhole is built next to the competitors' devices if they're not able to inspect it like we can with CleanCheck. So when you have that expensive manhole, that has to allow for the plumbing or any of the service person to go in there and check the valve, replace it, whatever it needs. Then it needs a manhole to be built and a tunnel alongside that to be able to work with that. How often does a backwater valve need to be serviced? Service needs, it varies depending on the manufacturer, but the CleanCheck, the flapper should be inspected once a year. And how deep can the CleanCheck be buried? According to the ICC, the backwater valve's maximum buried depth is 12 feet. And can the CleanCheck extendable backwater valve be used as a cleanout? No, because that cleanout snake, it's going to do damage to the seating surface of the CleanCheck. So no, this is not to be used as a cleanout. Some competitive products to the CleanCheck. We have Camp Blast, we have Sioux Chief, Mainline, Spears, Odie, and then we talk about the CleanCheck key advantages. It has a very strong brand name recognition. Plus, it's the only backwater valve that has the flapper rated at 75 psi. And then common objections. SureSeal does not have a complete or standard backwater valve for in-basement shallow, that is up to the arm's length applications. Again, that's true. That's a commodity line that we're offering. We saw something that was unique years ago when we got the CleanCheck, and that's what we promote. And then our last of the plumbing mechanical products we'll talk about are the 3 golden tools. The GoldenGrip internal pipe wrench, the Golden Extractor Tub Drain Tool, and the Golden Pipe Shredder. We're going to do a product overview, applications of each, who to target for these products, key competitors, what makes these products better, different than the competitors, and objections you can expect to hear and overcome. Let's start first with the GoldenGrip internal pipe wrench. It is self-locking and reversible. Essentially, you're going to put in a 3/8 or 1/2 inch ratchet. This goes inside, whether it's going to be 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 1.25 inch, or 1.5 inch and 2 inch. You go inside that pipe that is broken off or stuck inside. As this turns, you can see that the bite on here will open and grab inside that pipe. You can see that we sell the single 1/2 inch, 6 to a case. We have a single 3/4 inch, 6 to a case. And then we also have one that has both 1 inch and 1.25 inch. Those are 3 to a case. And then we have the 1.5 inch and 2 inch tool. There's 3 to a case. And then we have the set of all 4 tools, and it's 1 kit per case. Here are some GoldenGrip applications. Extracting the corroded or rusted pipe nipples. It can be used on a variety of pipes, whether it's chrome, brass, cast iron, steel, galvanized, but you can also use it to install the chrome nipples and shower arms as well. Here's another good picture of a major repair and how the GoldenGrip can save time and money. On the left, you're going to have to do a major repair. You're going to have to tear that wall apart to get at the fitting in order to extract the pipe from it. Whereas with the GoldenGrip, it can take 1 hour. Here we have an image of a major shower arm fix. And you're going to have to take that tile apart in order to access the pipe which that fitting or the nipple is broken. Whereas with the GoldenGrip, it takes less than 30 minutes. And here are some competitive products. You can see the 4 different types. The one on the left has a tendency to freeze up. The one with the handle is a little bit easier to operate. And then we have the Golden Tub Extractor Drain Tool. That's for extracting or installing tub drains. It uses a standard 3/8 ratchet. It removes bolts, screws where the heads are broken off and just hard to remove on the wall-hung urinals and toilets. It's a universal size, and it's made of tempered steel. And that tool is available at 1 per case. So when removing a tub drain, you can see the golden cam and the tool body will grip inside that tub shoe, and it matches together at 3 points, providing an even torque for easy removal or installation. So when installing a new tub, turn clockwise, the golden cam stays intact and will not scratch or scuff the new drain. And the stub at the bottom of the tool is used for installing and tightening the drain down when using the drain's crossbars. Here's some applications that's perfect for the tub extractor. And you can see perhaps an unsuccessful method in that right image, or a much more difficult, time-consuming method. Here are the competitive products to it. And when looking at the competitive products, what if that tub drain that you're going to remove doesn't have crossbars? It's old, it's corroded, it's rusted out. The Golden Extractor can do it in 30 minutes. The 2 other competitive products are designed to connect and work with the crossbars. So they're not going to work if that drain that you're going to remove has crossbars, does not have crossbars. And now we have, the last of the golden tools, we have the Golden Pipe Shredder. And the features of that are it reams out the solvent welded plastic fittings so they can be reused. It cuts the stubs to be flushed and recessed with the wall. It removes the water closet fittings that need to be replaced. And it comes in 4 shredders, one kit per case. It comes with a 1.5 inch, a 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch pipe shredders. In this image, you can see the whole guide, and then you can see the blades, the teeth. That is what makes up the shredder. Now, while the teeth cannot be replaced, if you take a close look, there's a screw, and there are 4 sides to each tooth of each pipe shredder. Those can be rotated, and you have 4. Here's a beautiful image showing from start to finish using the pipe shredder. You line the guide inside the smaller pipe that's going to be shredded out. Then you can see it's going to cut it beautifully inside that fitting. And here's the competitive products to the Golden Pipe Shredder. You have Jones Stevens and you have the Reed Company, and the only issues that you really have with those are it's not really an exact science, whereas we have the guides and we have all those blades. These have like 2 or 3 sides to them, and it has a tendency to wobble inside, not making for a perfect reaming out of that plastic pipe inside the fitting. Golden Tools target customers: plumbing contractors who do a lot of repair and replacement, plumbing and industrial wholesalers, PVF wholesalers, facility maintenance, and as well as a do-it-yourself market. Objections to overcome: RectorSeal, frankly, has been known for tools that make the job easier. Those are the products that we've designed, that we've gone after. It's quality tools that last nearly forever, and which results in lower repeat sales. That's true, but that quality is built into the product. That is what reflects on RectorSeal. RectorSeal equals quality. I appreciate you joining me for this class. If you have any questions, you can email me at jerry.myron@rectorseal.com. Have a good day.